Karthik, when the first trailer came out, everybody, there were a lot of all your fans are thinking, are you shifting to action genre? Is that a conscious thing? Are you shifting really or no?
I mean, I would like to,
Okay.
but not shift entirely. I would
Okay.
love to do romantic films and comedies also,
Right.
not just action. But it's a great start. It's a great start, and this is something I'd never done before.
You've seen David Dhawan's cinema. Is Rohit Dhawan's cinema the same cinema or is it different?
Any two different people will direct a film differently, you know what I mean? You will see some sort of jhalak or some sort of vibe, but it's in Rohit's own style.
It's a proper film where you want to watch it with your friends, with your family, in group basically. Community viewing के लिए perfect film.
I've grown up on 90s films, yeah. I feel like I love watching such films, so it's nice to be a part of it. And I had also done something extremely heavy like a Mimi just before, so this was like, and I know he presents his actors really well. Hi guys, I'm Kriti Sanin,
Hi, I'm Karthik Aryan.
and you can watch this full interview on,
Bollywood Hangama,
you can watch our film Shehzada that is releasing on
17th of February.
in theatres.
Karthik, Kriti, welcome to Bollywood Hangama.
Thank you.
Good to see both of you, and especially on an exciting film like that when you all are promoting. Karthik, I saw you weren't you like in Goa yesterday? What is this period like? Where all are you flying?
Everywhere, leaving no city or no state. But yesterday I was not promoting. I was actually there for a wedding of my friend.
Okay.
Abhishek actually who produced Pyar Ka Panchnama and directed Drishyam 2.
Right.
So he just got married. So I was there.
Right.
And then I had to just catch a flight and come back and do the interviews with you, sir.
Right, thank you. Kriti, and again, same thing, exciting project. This phase is a haze in your mind. How do these days go by?
Yeah, it is sort of like I'm just passing through them. I feel. I do feel that I mean, especially because Bhedia kind of released like 2 months back, so it kind of feels like I've just done.
Jumped back.
Actually, we didn't do interviews
Yeah,
then,
we
so it's a
didn't.
little refreshing to be here.
Yes.
Having said that, but kind of feels like just done it, the grind.
Right.
But exciting. This is what I mean. I've shot for all these films like a while
ago.
before,
Right.
and they're all sort of releasing somehow around the same time. So.
Right. Karthik, when the first trailer came out, everybody, there were a lot of all your fans are thinking, are you shifting to action genre? Is that a conscious thing? Are you shifting really or no?
I mean, I would like to, but not shift entirely. I would love to do romantic films and comedies also.
Right.
Not just action. But it's a great start. It's a great start, and this is something I'd never done before.
Right.
So for me to start action sequences or do certain sequences in a film, I would have. I mean, Shehzada is the best film to do that.
Right.
And so it's a great start for me to do more and more action films after this. This is more than action. This is more of a family entertainer.
Okay.
And then of course the action comes in. There is a big reason why the action kicks in.
Right.
And so I'm exploring lots and lots of genres.
Okay.
And this is one of them.
This is one of them. Right. Kriti, they say, the apple won't fall far from the tree. So you've seen David Dhawan's cinema. Is Rohit Dhawan's cinema the same cinema or is it different?
I mean, I can't say it's the same cinema because obviously the person is different.
Person
I
is
feel like any two different people will direct a film differently, you know what I mean? So, while you will see some sort of jhalak or some sort of vibe of a similar kind of cinema, but it's his take and it's his like modern take on the kind of films that maybe David sir also made.
Right.
So because it kind of falls in that category
Okay.
of films that we used to watch in the 90s,
Yeah.
a lot of which were done by David
Right,
sir,
right.
and it had everything. So yeah, this kind of has everything in it. It's
Right.
got romance, it's got comedy, it's got action, it's got family values, it's got emotion to it.
Right.
But it's in Rohit's own style.
Okay, okay. Every actor wants to do a David Dhawan kind of a film. These are commercial films watched by families across. Is this the same space according to you?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that 90s, as Kriti said, it's that those 90s में जैसे फिल्में बनती थी. It's that type of a
Wholesome,
film.
I would say.
हाँ, the
Right.
wholesome entertainers.
Right.
So Shehzada is like that, and I mean it's a proper film where you want to watch it with your friends, with your family,
Right.
with in group basically. Community viewing के लिए perfect film है. You would enjoy this more with a lot of people.
Right.
And yeah, there are emotions, there are these big action sequences, but and a lot of family values, but there are lots and lots of comical elements which a lot of people love. So वो एक I think एक wholesome entertainer की definition होती है, and it is that kind of a film which and Rohit has that touch. Rohit has that. He's very stubborn about what he wants, first of all, and he knows what he wants. So I'm glad that he's the one who directed this film.
Right.
He's got his own sensibilities into it. Mixed with, of course, the kind of actors that he has cast.
Right.
So, so it's a great amalgamation somewhere down the line, and I feel that this genre is something which we have grown up watching, and then we've really stopped making this genre also here, and it's coming back with Shehzada.
Right. He said Rohit is stubborn because there are many makers who, if they want something, they want just that. What was your experience with him like? What did you observe?
No. He's absolutely clear with what he wants.
Right.
उसको exactly क्या पता है उसको चाहिए.
Okay.
Of course, you can go to him and say that I'm thinking of doing it like this or whatever, and he's sort of is like, okay, show me what you mean.
He's open to it.
He's open to it, but then at the same time, like, he's very stubborn about his dialogues.
Right.
Like, you can't change a word here and there.
Wow, really?
So it has to be that. He's like, बहुत मेहनत करके लिखा है तो तुम वही बोलो जो लिखा है. So
Right.
that's how he is. I
Right.
feel like every director is like very different. There are certain directors who are like, okay, what do you want to say? Which is also very like, it can throw
Right.
you off.
Right.
But it's nice to have someone who has that level of clarity, because then you
Sure,
can fully surrender and be like, okay, he knows what he's doing. I can
Right.
just like do what he's asking me to do.
Right. Since you're a monologue king, the thing is, do you, if he's saying, I want these words, are you good with that, or would you like to
No,
do your own
sometimes,
thing?
so what happens is it's 90% of the times you are okay with what's written, of course.
Okay.
There's this 10% or 5% of it where you feel like improvising.
Okay.
And which of course he gets, थोड़ा सा time लगता है, but वो open up हो जाता है. Like you have to have your ways के
Right, so you all
सोचना
are
पड़ता है.
bound.
Yeah, सोचना पड़ता है कि यार ये बोलूँगा तो ये मान जाएगा, ये नहीं बोलूँगा तो नहीं मानेगा, तो ऐसा नहीं करता.
Right.
तो I found my ways how to
Right.
थोड़ा हो जाता था. And yeah, with bigger dialogues also, what used to happen is कि कई बार you can improvise in it. But of course, yeah, he's very clear about these are the lines, you should be saying those lines. Because also I get the point, because somewhere down the line he's made so much efforts with the lines, him and Hussein, and they know कि इस line की वजह से आगे जो होने वाला है उसमें कितना impact आने वाला है.
Correct.
So I think it's all related. So they're very they're very adamant कि हाँ ये ऐसे ही बोलना ये. But at least he was very open about the fact that the way you want to deliver it, the way you want to perform it, so that is something which gives you that freeness, and you can act and you can do your own things with the same line.
Kriti, you choose your filmography so carefully. You've done such interesting projects one after another. When something like that comes, what was the hook? What did Rohit tell you? What was the brief of the story, character that you thought, chalo, let's add this in my selective filmography?
I don't think I was going like, okay, I need to have something different, and so let's add this.
On
I
that?
think
Okay.
I think when he just narrated me the film,
Okay.
firstly, I loved the narration. I
Okay.
feel like I remember like really laughing hard. I remember getting teary-eyed in emotional scenes. So I was feeling everything that he was saying.
Right.
And I felt it was very well written, you know, and
Okay.
it was very entertaining even while I was hearing it and not watching it.
Okay.
And then for me, I've grown up on 90s films. Yeah, I feel like I love watching such films. So it's nice to be a part of it. And I had also done something extremely heavy like a Mimi just before. And I was wanting to do something slightly lighter, slightly fresher, slightly more glamorous. I remember in the beginning of my career, people were like, okay, you know, she's more of a glam, sort of a heroine. She can't look good in a small town thing. Once I started Bareli Ki Barfi, I only got small town stuff. So I was like, I need to make a shift now.
Yeah,
I feel like playing an
change.
urban girl.
Right.
You know, I feel like wearing modern clothes. What's happening?
Right.
So this was like, and I know he presents his actors really well.
Yeah.
He's got great aesthetic sense, you know. So for me, I was like, okay, this is refreshing, and I'm coming from something really heavy. I want to go into something light and entertaining like this.
Right. Karthik, you know, even you, what you're doing is so different from each other. I thought you were exceptional in Freddy. You know, your acting was so different from what you have done before. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Again, this was same question to you also. Such a switch from Freddy to this, was this planned? Can this be planned? Or
It can be with the choices you're making, but the release can't be planned, of
Okay,
course.
yeah.
So that is one thing which I didn't plan. But yeah, there was a conscious planning, conscious decision of choosing films, which I feel were maybe different from each other in terms of the character that I'm playing or the world that the film is showcasing.
Right.
With a Dhamaka, with a Freddy, with a Bhool Bhulaiya 2, with a Shehzada, all these films they are really different from poles apart basically.
Yeah.
So for me to play a character which was which goes into that dark alley like Dr. Freddy, I mean I had to undergo a lot of training sessions over there in terms of the body language or stuff like that. When I came, so I remember जब मैं रोहित के साथ एक schedule मेरा कुछ ऐसा हुआ था कि मैं फ्रेडी खत्म की थी और मैं तुरंत मैं ये start कर रहा था इसका schedule, and he pointed it out that I'm not
Quieter?
I'm much more quieter. My body language is just changed, and suddenly I'm not that front-footed guy. He wanted that kind of a थोड़ा सा एक चाहिए था swag, जो अचानक से उसने मुझे 15 दिन पहले कुछ और सोच रहा था और फिर अचानक से कुछ और हो गया. So thankfully we only had couple of days of shoot, and then we had a big break, and then we shot for it. So तब मेरे दिमाग में था कि I have to get out of this Freddy vibe, Freddy zone, and yeah, and then Shehzada फिर तो पूरी तरह से बाहर आके.
Right. Kriti, ऐसी फिल्म का narration कैसा होता है? Like, is it as fun? Like, what is it like?
Yeah,
because
it
you know,
is
the
when
people who
Rohit
are watching don't know what that part is. So please.
It's as fun when Rohit Dhawan is narrating, because I think he's amazing at narrations. You know, there are people who are just great writers, directors, but not great narrators. You know, there are people. I've also heard like good scripts turned bad when it's coming as a narration and been like, okay, I think I should read this.
Right.
But with him, you must take a narration. It's not. It's just because he knows so well how he wants the lines to be delivered, how he wants the scene, how he looks at it. That वो almost जब बोल रहा होता है तो you can see it, you can visualize it. Yeah.
Nice. But on the other side, are there also, you know, everybody can't narrate like that? Are there people who can't narrate like that but end up making something good?
Yeah, there
are.
भर के.
Yeah.
And
that's why you should also read the script.
You need to read and you need to get the narration done. Because vice versa, दोनों में कुछ भी हो सकता है.
कुछ भी हो सकता है.
हाँ, तो है, वैसे भी लोग हैं.
Right. And also, you know, it's good to see industry supporting each other.
एक और चीज है सर, नरेशन अच्छा भी लगता है कई बार कोई फिल्मों का, बहुत अच्छे नरेटर होते हैं, और फिर रीड करो तो वो उतनी अच्छी नहीं लगती. ये उल्टा भी होता है.
लेकिन अगर वो नरेटर ही डायरेक्ट कर रहा है, then you can still take the lead.
Depends, yeah.
If that narrator is the writer, then you're like, okay, now I don't know.
What a tricky situation. If you hear and love the narration, कुछ और बन जाएगा.
And I've done that. I've taken a very good narration. I've been so happy. अरे यार ये तो बहुत अच्छी mind blowing script मिल गई. And when I read it, it didn't read as much as it wasn't as funny, it wasn't as, you know, entertaining. So then you have to figure out and you have to
And then Jo
make
Banta Hai, that
choices.
is a third thing, right? Like eventually, that
Yeah.
also is another ball.
That's also, yeah. So वो choices अचानक से it becomes a sort of a gamble sometimes.
So exactly. That's the right word, sort of a gamble. You know, it's nice to see industry supporting each other. Every actor, someone doing a cameo for someone, Salman tweeting this song. You know, so, you know, is this a big boost for actors like y'all?
100%. It's a big boost, and I was so happy when he did that. And then he was really. I mean, जिस तरीके से उन्होंने वो proactively वो चीज़ appreciate भी की. He saw the song also, and he was appreciative of it also. And so I was just really happy with the
Right.
whole generosity that he showed towards the song, and something which is associated with him.
Yeah,
you know,
character
that
deal,
song
right.
and the feel of that song. So to be as big, you know, and इतनी बड़ी बात और इतने बड़े गाने को आप किसी दूसरी फिल्म के लिए अलाउ करना या उनसे उनके लिए और उसके बाद उसको पोस्ट भी करना.
Right.
I think it's a big thing, it's a big gesture. I'm thankful to Salman sir.
Right. Kriti, this is also coming at a great time when people in hordes have gone to see Pathaan. Basically, the good news is that people are coming back to the cinemas in big numbers. You think this is a good time again, you know, to release? Does this play on your mind?
Yeah, I mean, I think a release date does make all the difference sometimes to how the film does. But I feel like, you know, it's nice to see people go back to theaters and feel really normal now. You know, you're not really talking about COVID, and you're not talking about like these films are not working. Or if you give them a really good entertaining film,
Right.
they will go for it.
Right.
So I think we just need to come back to making really good films.
Right. You know, so people do, you know, one film doing well is great news for you, or is it more pressure for you? Because you're coming immediately after.
I mean, it's good. It's very good because it feels like कि अभी वो बार एक वो noise chatter होने लगता है ना कि लोग देखने नहीं जा रहे शायद से film.
Yeah.
ये वाला chatter बंद हो जाता है. And it's very good that when a film does so well, and I've noticed it कि वो उसके बाद वाली फिल्मों पे भी rub in होता है.
Yeah.
And people get into that habit of going to the theaters and getting entertained. So I think fingers crossed, and it should happen with Shehzada as well, because it's an entertaining film and it's a very good film that we are very confident about. They need to go to the theaters to just feel the same.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, this is coming at Valentine's Day time. This, you know, are you a believer of Valentine's Day? Are you a believer of Valentine's Day?
I mean, I kind of feel like love should be celebrated every single day. So I don't believe in one particular day. But yeah, it's nice to sort of also have another day where you kind of remind yourself of love.
Right. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm as Kriti said, it's the same thing. I have the same thought process of, you know, celebrating love on a particular day as well. You're dedicating that day to your loved ones, and it plays a role when it comes when a film also comes during that time, and it becomes kind of a partial holiday. We are not releasing on 14th.
I know,
though.
you're not releasing on
We're
17th,
releasing on a Valentine's week. So
Week,
there's this phenomena कि हाँ सब प्यार में घूम रहे हैं, ऐसा thought process चल रहा है.
Right.
But yeah, I'm also a believer.
So people can
Valentine's Day.
extend the feeling of love till
Yeah, they
can extend
17th.
it, yeah.
3 more days
Yeah.
they can go till and they can enjoy.
Are you all going to be busy, or you all going to be busy promoting? Busy with Valentine's Day plans or busy promoting?
There are no Valentine's Day plans, at least for me, but I don't know. I'm assuming I either promoting or I'm supposed to actually go for a schedule.
You're already jumping into something else?
Yes. So there is this. I'm shooting a film with Shahid, so we kind of are in the middle of not knowing where we're shooting right now, here or somewhere else.
Right. Any plans?
No, just Shehzada for now.
Right.
Yeah, I'll be mostly promoting only.
Lastly, you know, also a bit about your characters. What exactly is this girl up to in the film?
Well, much beyond all this. But Samara is a modern day urban city girl who's a lawyer. She's very strong-headed. She is a no-nonsense chick, how you see in the trailer as well, where मतलब कोई अगर छेड़ता है और लंबी टांगों वाली तो लात भी अच्छी पड़ सकती है. So she is that person. So she is very headstrong and just extremely urban and refreshing.
Okay. Like you, like somewhat,
Kind of like me.
kind of like you. Nice. And Shehzada is up
Sexy,
to
smart, handsome.
just like you. By
Just like
chance.
me. बस गलती से मेरे जैसे ही है तो. I think he's a street smart guy. I think he's someone who's learned the hard way and he maybe wants to be loved, wants
Yeah.
to get that. He doesn't have a family, proper family, so he wants that love. He's craving for that from maybe from anyone, maybe from Samara, maybe from whatever when the story unfolds, you'll get to know a lot more about it. But he's someone who's a street smart guy.
Okay.
And yeah, he has his own ways of dealing things in life.
Right.
And a confident guy. So yeah.
Right. Great. Thank you. Wishing
I
you
was
good
describing
luck.
myself only.
He doesn't have a proper family छोड़ के बाकी
हाँ, बस वो
segments से
बाकी
जाते
मैंने
हैं.
अपना
बाकी
description
सब
दे
बाकी सब सही. Great guys, best of luck. Looking like fun,
Thank you,
absolute
thank you,
fun.
thank you
So
so much.
I'm sure you guys must have done something interesting again. So all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Kriti Sanin,
Hi, I'm Karthik Aryan.
and you can watch this full interview on.
Bollywood Hangama,
You can watch our film Shehzada that is releasing on
17th of February.
in theaters.